East. New England does a great job of slowing Marino down. Nobody stops him, but at least the Patriots slow him down. They got to do it today.
I don't know, Trump, if any team in pro football has the overall personnel the Patriots have. They couldn't run the ball last year and still finished 11-5, and this year they have a running game back.
Raymond Berry said in the preseason, we're going to run the ball in 87, and he got the people to fix it. The right offensive tackle, Bruce Armstrong, first-round draft choice, the first rookie to start on the offensive line since John Hanna in 1973, plus the addition of Farrell at guard, a true pulling guard, and they hope the running game is back.
Don Shula in the midst of an Easter blowing New England. In his 25th season as a head coach, as you see, his 18th with Miami. He was not happy before the game because no tarp was on this field. As much as 2 inches of rain is expected. But in a year past, I recall, Trump, when the Jets played in a playoff game there at Miami, there was no tarp, and so it goes. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, and the man to boot it is Fuad Reveiz of the Miami Dolphins. Heavy rain and wind blowing through New England on opening day 1987. The Patriots won the toss, and they elected to take the ball. Collins and Perryman, a rookie, are back, along with Steffen starring as the deep man. Reveiz puts Goodwood into the ball. Steffen starring from the 4. Thunderous hit at the 22-yard line. Coming down to make the play for Miami, Larry Kolick, number 54. And now you see the Patriots in offense. The veteran Steve Grogan starting. Tony Eason has a groin pull but is ready to play if needed. Collins and Tutupu, the starting runners, both had outstanding preseasons. Stanley Morgan, consensus all-pro at one wide out. The super fast Irving Fryer at the other. And the key to the running game, Lynn Dawson, is back at tight end after missing a season with a knee problem. To the run they go. Here comes Tony Collins, who averaged 5.6 yards a carry in the preseason. He takes it out to the 26-yard line. Got about 3 or 4, knocked down by the middle guard, Brian Sauché. The offensive line for the Patriots, Sean Farrell, the former Penn State All-American at left guard. He came in from Tampa Bay in a trade and has been outstanding this summer. Bruce Armstrong, the #1 draft choice out of Louisville at right tackle, has moved right in as a starter. Raymond Berry, the coach of the Patriots, says the difference between this year and last, we're blowing people off the line. Straight ahead carry, there's not much there. Dolphins do a good job jamming the gaps. Tony Collins ran the ball, and on the play was T.J. Turner. Brian Sauché at middle guard, and the rookie from Boston College, John Boza, is worked into a starting tight end, defensive end position. Brzezinski, Ship, Brown, and Fry, the linebackers, but 2 of the best are out. As you know, Hugh Green went down with an injury in the preseason, and John Offerdahl also went out. So Offerdahl's not expected back for at least 10 weeks. Green could be back sooner.
I think they'll still run this ball, Don, even though they're in the shotgun.
3rd and 5. He looks like he's going to put it up. He is going to run. Grogan takes it ahead, and he gets a first down. Loses the ball, but he was down at the 34. And there's also a penalty marker down, and it's down Trump in the Patriot backfield.
You pretty much got to change your mind if you're a head coach when you come out holding against New England. You got to change your mind about your thinking all week as to what you're going to do. There's Raymond Berry on the sideline. A little thing on his right hand, an old football injury from his years with the Baltimore Colts. He has no ligaments left in that thumb. Told me after the season's over he'll have surgery. Back to the premise, what you have to do as a head coach now.
Holding 66 offense. They're down.
You got Paul Fairchild, the starting center.
You want to be very careful at the outset of this football game not to give up a cheap turnover. Field position is absolutely the most important thing in a game like this today. New England's got to be careful. Camarillo for New England, a great punter. So is Reggie Roby. And we'll watch field position. That'll be the biggest determining factor.
I tell you, it does not rain harder than this in a shower. Collins turns upfield, head down, holds onto the ball with one arm. Not easy to do. And on 3rd down and long, he got back to about the 22-yard line. And now the Dolphins will get it on a punt and could come out of this with good field position if the rookie Schwades from Syracuse can catch it. That's no easy piece of work. David Fry was on that stop for the Dolphins.
You also pay a lot of attention to punt snappers, kick snappers. Guy Morris made the New England Patriots this year for one reason and one reason alone. They consider him a great punt snapper. He'll earn his money today if he can get it back there accurately to Camarillo.
Every long snap's an adventure. Downfield kick. Scott Schwades will run it back from his 43.
They got an alley.
Set up. Schwades in open field is almost the distance. He is finally knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So the underdog Dolphins get their first possession of the game, an excellent field position, a 35-yard punt, but Schwades, the rookie, ran it back. 32 for Miami.
Rich Camarillo makes the tackle. Field position so unbelievably important in a football game when you have inclement weather. And from our broadcast position, that field is shiny. This alley was well set up by Miami. All he had to do was break one tackle, and Camarillo saves a touchdown. But great field position for Miami to start the ball game.
Now the rain lets up just a little bit. Still coming down hard as Dan Marino sets up on 1st and 10. No score in the first quarter. To the run they go, and Lorenzo Hampton slicing through behind a trap block. Takes the ball 26-yard line of New England, down close to the 19. Marino at quarterback, Hampton and Woody Bennett the runners. Duper and Clayton are starting. There was some doubt about Clayton because of the deep thigh bruise. Bruce Hardy, a slow tight end with excellent hands and a good blocker, starts there. Dwight Stevenson, the all-pro at center, playing hurt. Painful foot injury, but he's in there. Dolphins got 7 on their first run. Back to Hampton, and again he breaks it, and Lorenzo Hampton is knocked down at the 9-yard line, but he has a first down for the Dolphins. It'll be first down and goal for Miami.
Now, one of the keys to the running game is, can the center handle the nose tackle? If the nose tackle doesn't draw another blocker, then that 34 defense is destroyed. Stevenson, even with the sprained arch, handles Toby Williams. That leaves the guard there for another block of the linebacker, and 2 quick runs by Lorenzo Hampton. And Miami is going to have to run the ball today, and their attitude in the first 2 plays, excellent.
A 32-yard punt return by rookie Scott Schwades set up this possession for the Dolphins as now they challenge for what might be the first score of the game. There it is to Mark Duper. Touchdown, Miami. And the greatest touchdown thrower in NFL history over 4 years that he's been in the league. Guns another one in, the 143rd of Dan Marino's career. And the Dolphins, an underdog, take the lead.
You can see it's a quick drop, 3 steps. He throws to Duper. Marino's now thrown a touchdown in 24 straight NFL games. This slant pass in a Miami Dolphins uniform, first made great by the guy out of Cleveland and Ohio State. Remember his name? War number 42, Paul Warfield.
Now the extra point by Reveiz is up and good, and the Dolphins lead it 7-0.
Patriots, nothing.
Ark Super Duper, that's his legal name, with a 9-yard touchdown reception from Dan Marino, and the Dolphins have taken a 7-0 lead. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy on a overcast and heavy rain day in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Patriots now set to get the ball a second time. Stephen Starr in the deep man, number 81 in their 3 return man formation. Need a Dutch boy to plug these dikes. High spinning kick. Starring takes it the wall of blockers in front as he crosses the 20. Turns away from his interference, breaks it to the outside. He's to the 30-yard line. Nothing on the board yet in these opening games. 49ers opening at an AFC team at Pittsburgh. Only score of the day so far is here in Foxborough, a 9-yard touchdown pass from Dan Marino to Mark Duper at 7-0 Miami. Steve Grogan, who's played so many times against Miami, says he's had some of his greatest days and some of his worst against the Dolphins. He's now in his 13th year.
We got some opening game jitters here. That's Sean Farrell. New England got him for a 2nd, a 7th, and a 9th round draft choice next year. He blocked for James Wilder an excellent run blocker, playing that spot that was made famous by John Hanna. I'm really surprised you see the Patriots start with 3 wides here. That's Lynn Dawson split at the top.
They're going to put it up. Wide's running deep. Here's an out pattern to Stanley Morgan. He's across the 30, out to the 40-yard line. Stanley Morgan has a first down for New England. So Grogan, who is an admitted gambler, likes to go deep, even in weather like this. As Stanley Morgan says, Steve throws deep, and that's where I like to get it. That was good for 17 and a first down.
You see Grogan. I think one of the real mismatches in this ball game, Don, is the foot speed. When you compare the wide receivers of the New England Patriots and the defensive backs of the Miami Dolphins, you see 44 Langford giving Morgan all the room he can possibly handle. Grogan just throws it underneath.
10-10 to go first quarter. Grogan rolls out and gets some room where there was a broken player. Now it got them 8. Looked like he might have broken the play trump.
Missed the handoff. Hey, Grogan's going back there talking to Tony Collins. Son, I'm not here to run the ball. That's your job. Now, the one thing about Steve Grogan, with all his years' experience in the NFL, he's got to stand in that huddle and say, gentlemen, let's catch our breath here. We're all right. Down 7-0, no big deal, but start thinking here.
Second down and about 2 for New England. Power run straight at the Dolphin defense, takes the ball to midfield and very close to a New England first down as the clock ticks down in the first quarter. 9:25 to play in it. Dan Marino, you saw, was so jubilant after that opening drive touchdown throw. This is one team, as you pointed out at the outset of the game, Trump, he's not succeeded against. He is 1-3 here in Foxborough, and he's a 3-5 career against the Patriots.
Patriots with great defensive backs. They try to keep Dan Marino off that primary receiver. That's my opinion. They make him go to the second and third receiver. This is third and just a little bit.
High set. Rookie Perriman's in the backfield. He's the lead blocker. And here is a broken run that's coming down the field with the ball. It's Tony Collins, and he's not done till he gets to the 32-yard line of Miami. Bud Brown, the free safety, finally got him. Almost knocked down for a loss, but instead Tony Collins goes ahead for a 19-yard gain.
When defensive backs make tackles on third and short, you know somebody's doing the job. Lynn Dawson, 87, with a good block. Tutupu, 30, with a good block. Collins with great ability to bounce outside. And Brown finally saves the touchdown. Big pickup, 19 yards by Tony Collins.
Trump was just informed the Miami coaches' phones don't work. They have no communication between the press box and the sideline. That means New England will have to give up theirs if they don't get it fixed. Handoff. Collins cuts inside on a first down carry from the 32. He got to about the 30. Tony Collins was used widely as a pass receiver. Caught 77 balls last year. Now in his 6th year from East Carolina.
Last year, 2 years ago, the New England Patriots had 2 1,000-yard rushers. In 1986, just to show you how bad the running game was, Collins, James, and Tutupu combined for 1,011 yards rushing.
Free ball on the field, and Miami might have it. We'll see. Nope, Grogan got it back. So Steve Grogan keeps the ball for New England, but that's not the first or last ball you're going to see on the field.
Paul Fairchild is the center, making his first start as a center in the NFL. You wouldn't expect this, but the bottom half of that ball obviously gets wet sitting on that turf, and sometimes you're going to have some mishandled snaps. Now 4 wide receivers for New England.
On a 3rd down and 9 play from the 31-yard line of Miami. Dolphins lead first quarter 7-0. Marino to Duper from 9 yards out. Grogan looks, has a man. The ball is taken and lost at the 22-yard line. Going over the middle to Irving Fryer, and the Dolphins were there converging on him. Don McNeil, an extra defensive back, was on the play. And now the field goal unit comes out. Tony Easton comes out to hold, and Tony Franklin, who led the National Football League in scoring last season with 140 points, will try the field goal. It'll be a long one into the wind and rain.
And if you're a Miami fan, got to be happy with the performance of the defense so far. As long as the defense bends but doesn't break, you can stand a defense. Last year, the Miami defense crumbled.
47-yard attempt. It's on the way. It's not going to be there. It's short, out of the end zone. Miami takes over on the Dolphin 20, leading the game 7-0 with 7 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first quarter. Don Strock on the phones on the sideline for Miami, Trump, but nobody's home.
Yeah, the phones aren't working, so it's a league rule that if one side doesn't work, the other side doesn't get the use of them. But frankly, for these two teams, the phones don't help much. Strock and Marino pretty much call the offense for Miami, and Grogan takes care of the offense for New England.
Dolphins now ready to go. Their second possession, their first, you remember, resulted in the touchdown. End up goes, and the lead block is a good one, but then the New England linebackers come shooting through. Don Blackman, 55, a Pro Bowl player on the right outside. Steve Nelson, many times a Pro Bowler inside, and there's the front three. Brent Williams and Toby Williams, no relation. Garen Vera, second-year player, third-year player now from Stanford. Andre Tippett, maybe the best of an outstanding group of backers. He's in his sixth year from Iowa, has been to the Pro Bowl the last 3 years. They get as many sacks out of their linebackers as they do out of their defensive line, the Patriots at least did last year. Loss of 2 on the carry makes it 2nd down and 12. Marino gets time and can't make the connection at the 32-yard line. He tried to swing it out to Ron Davenport, who's coming off a disappointing third season.
One of the things you're going to have to deal with all day long is the outside backers of New England coming. Here's Andre Tippett. He wears LT's number, and if he played in New York, he'd get as much press. Now, he was hurt last year, but he is just an awesome pass rusher, and you saw what New England did there. They made Marino go to the third receiver, throw it out to Davenport in the flat. That's what the Patriots have done so well against Marino over these years.
If he gets the number 1 guys looking at it, it's a lot of big plays. That's what Rod Russ, defensive coordinator for New England, said. We've got to take away his primary receiver. Bad snap. Marino fields it nicely, guns the ball out. Too much on it, overthrown, and now the New England Patriots could get good field position. The wind is swirling. The rain is right now coming pretty much straight down, and it's coming like out of a fire hose.
This offensive line of the Miami Dolphins, extraordinary at pass protection at 72. Ronnie Lee and Toth on Tippett last year allowed just 17 sacks, and Marino threw it over 600 times, and that's just great pass protection.
The ever-dangerous Irving Fryer is back deep now for New England. Reggie Roby. It's a bad snap. He's got a big problem. Roby's on the run, though. And he's knocked down at the 22-yard line. So the Patriots, beneficiaries of a bad snap in the rain, and Reggie Roby, a key Dolphin, is down. Rod McSwain came in and made the tackle on him. Roby's the biggest punter in the NFL, 6'4", 245 pounds. And if he goes out, a big part of the attack of Miami, because he is a field position kicker with his long range.
Absolutely. Bruce Hardy is the punt snapper. You can see the ball was a dribbler. Never got to Roby. Watch what happens. That ball just stays right on the ground. 50 McGrew all over Roby, but he avoids the tackle. And then McSwain drags him. Oh, that's a bad knee injury. Reggie Roby on the sideline in pain, and we'll show you why. This is another devastating injury to the Miami Dolphins.
Now New England, after the muffed punt attempt, goes to the run, and Tony Collins breaks it down to the 17-yard line.
Watch what happens on this punt. All started by the bad snap. Rod McSwain, 23, makes the tackle, swings around, and watch Reggie Roby's right leg. Ooh. Dr. Virgin, the team orthopedic surgeon of the Miami Dolphins, very busy in the offseason. I think he's got another client. That is a serious knee injury, and if you're wondering, Don Strock is the backup punter.
8 Miami starters from a season ago underwent off-season surgery, and they're all back. And now Roby goes out, looking to throw the swing pass, and it goes to Tatupu. Grogan hits him. Markers down, though, as Mosey Tatupu, a power back from Southern California, knocks it down to the 12-yard line.
That was a very late flag. It's
against Miami.
Yeah, that's a personal foul, roughing the passer against Miami. I think it was T.J. Turner, 95, who hit him late. See if that's the call. Personal foul against the Miami Dolphins. I believe Turner. No, it's David Fry, 53, a shot to the head.
Tough call, though. That looked part of football, wasn't it?
Well, Unfortunately, the rules now put the officials in a spot where it's very hard to determine whether there's intent to injure a quarterback. Now, you can't go at his legs, and you're supposed to back off on the pass rush. That's the new rule in the NFL this year.
Rarely, though, Trump, is there intent to do something nice to him.
Well, Jack Lambert said, when are we going to put skirts on those quarterbacks? Remember that?
He took a few out. 7-0 Miami. First quarter, New England challenging. Here is Collins going back the other way. Lead blocked by the quarterback, and Collins goes in. Now they're going to spot him out at the 1, or is he in?
He had his hands up. That's
hands
touchdown.
Up. It's a touchdown, a 4-yard run by Tony Collins. A called play as he came back to the weak side with Grogan blocking back. Watch.
I don't know what Collins saw here. This is designed to go to the left. But watch what happens. Let's see what he sees. Someone must break through the offensive line of scrimmage, and he does that on his own. I mean,
but look what Grogan did.
Yeah, Grogan is saying, what are you doing over here, Tony? Nevertheless, he gets a block. Great outside speed by Tony Collins, all on his own with a block from the quarterback, and it's 6 points.
And so with 5:03 to play in the first quarter, the Patriots are on the board. Snap in, set down, good, and it's not easy as the extra point ties the game by Franklin. It's a 7-7 game. Collins in the end zone with the tying touchdown. Back to Foxborough after this.
You're working on your...
With Bob Trumpy back at Foxborough, we're tied at 7-7, and Mother Nature is playing through New England on this opening day, and she's going to take an even bigger toll as this game wears on.
You're right, and the injury to Reggie Roby now with punting and field position so vitally important. The bad snap by Bruce Hardy results in an injury that I think conservatively, I'm not a doctor, but Dr. Virgin would probably agree with me. It's going to require at least a cast, maybe a cut.
The kickoff downfield, and here comes Schwades, the rookie from Syracuse, to return that punt 32 yards to set up Miami's first score. And he's out to the 27-yard line. Scott Schwades comes from great football bloodlines. His dad was the captain of a national championship team at Syracuse in '59, Gerhard Schwades. As we look at the scoreboard, some numbers up. Cardinals have gone in front up 3-0 on the Cowboys. Cincinnati, a team that Bob Trumpy made famous, leading Indianapolis 13-0. Back in the days of the big money.
I made them famous? Thank you very much.
You got the big checks.
Oh, yeah. $600-700 a month.
Marino putting it up in the rain. Near side pattern. It's well thrown, and Duper, who caught the touchdown ball, is ruled out of bounds when he came down with the football.
You hope for in inclement weather everyone does their job properly, but the bad snap by Bruce Hardy, that's McGrew 50 missing Reggie Roby, and then the devastating knee injury. Rod McSwain, weight goes on the leg, and it appears to be a knee injury. Reggie could get up, but he has been taken off on a stretcher.
One of the very best in the NFL. He's led the league in punting in the past, Reggie Roby. Now the Dolphins and Marino set with a 2nd down and 10. 7-7 late in the first quarter. Lorenzo Hampton breaks it for the moment, then is ridden down by a New England linebacker. Coming across on the play was Jim Bowman, also playing strong safety. Hampton's been a terrific player for the Dolphins, coming out of the University of Florida 3 years ago. Last season he rushed for over 800 yards and he caught 61 passes.
I just noticed Don Strock took a couple of punts into the little thing on the sideline, and his punt will be his first in an NFL regular game, regular season game. Sure, he's really looking forward to that.
On a day like this, Roby is out. Injury the last time the Dolphins tried to punt. Troy Stratford's in, rookie from Boston College. Marino throws, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Frank Marion, and Marion's down to the 31-yard line. And the Patriots challenge again.
Bounced off the hands of Troy Stratford, the young man from Boston College, hoping to come back here and make a huge impression on the local folks. You see 23 right to the left of Dan Marino. He swings out of the backfield and is open. Marino again going to the alternate receiver. A very catchable ball. Marion picks it off. New England again with great field position, but Don Strock didn't have to punt. You see him looking downfield, and he goes to that outlet receiver. Another turnover. You basically count the block punt as a turnover.
Here comes the power game of New England as Craig James gets his first call of the day and drives the ball right at the Miami nose tackle Soche, who's blown off the play on a double team block. And down to the 26-yard line goes the carry. Second down and 4 arises. 3:43 to play. First quarter at 7-7.
The Patriots can go with 2 separate backfields. They start with the Tupu and Collins, give them a couple of series, come back with Perriman and James.
Craig James' production tailed way off last season. He dropped 800 yards in total rushing offense from 1227 to 427. Perriman, rookie player from the University of Michigan, a big back who they're just delighted with, was picked up in the 3rd round. They say he's as smart as he is talented as an athlete. Show it to him once and he's got it. He's moved right in playing like a veteran.
The thing they like most about Perriman is that, and I guess this is true of any running back coming out of Michigan and Bo Schembechler's style of offense, he can catch the ball, knows how to run patterns. Patriots were very surprised at that ability. Another 3rd and very short for New England.
3rd and 1. New England. Tie game 7-7. Collins with a knockdown short of the first down. A superior defensive play made by Rick Graff, a rookie linebacker from Wisconsin who shot the gap and made the knockdown.
Excellent job by that Miami defense. Graff, the rookie out of Wisconsin. It looked like he turned his shoulders, got between blockers, and is right there. And that's great penetration by a defense, and that's what you want. They forced Tony Franklin to come in for a field goal. 140 points last year.
You'll recall his first try today, a 47-yarder, was short. It was straight on. This one has enough if it's straight. But he's wide to the left. It's no good. And so Franklin, who had a spectacular season a year ago when he hit 32 of 41 field goals, misses in the rain in his first 2 tries in '87, and the score holds at 7-7.
His chin strap is unbuttoned. They can call a penalty on him for that. But it looked like he hooked it just a little bit. And the tendency is that when weather's bad or you're trying for a little extra distance, kickers more times than not will hook it. He's mad at himself. That's a missed opportunity by New England to get the ball in a turnover and no points.
So Marino, who's thrown for 1 touchdown and 1 interception, now gets his offense back on the field without giving up points after the turnover. Hampton.
Whoa.
Dumped in the backfield. Shooting in the gap was the nose tackle, Toby Williams, along with Jaron Veras, 60.
Now that's unusual because he's playing right across from Dwight Stevenson, the all-pro center.
Coming up on NFL Live at halftime, Frank DeFord takes a look at James Lofton of the LA Raiders, plus all of today's stories and scores. That's next with Bob, Ahmad, Paul, and Frank on NFL Live at halftime. Right now, as the rain continues to fall, it has been hitting the field unabated since about an hour before the game. The Dolphins go 2nd down and 12. Marino swings it out to Hardy as tight end. Lost the track as he turned upfield. There'll be a very short gain to make it 3rd and about 9.
That time the Dolphins came with 2 tight ends. They had Joel Williams and Bruce Hardy trying to spread the defense out as best they could. Now Jensen comes in the ball game. Jim Jensen. And Troy Stratford again. Also James Pruitt. Now Miami last year was extraordinary in converting 3rd downs. 50% of the time they converted them to 1st downs. See what this package does for him today.
Clayton comes to the near flank. But Marino loses the handle, and he'll have to now give way to his punter. And that punter, as you've been told, is the backup, Don Strock.
I don't know what happened here. Dwight Stevenson, normally a very, very, very good snapper. Was Marino surprised? Let's see what happens. Marino is looking around. No, Dwight Stevenson snapped it too early. Snapped it right into his gut. Marino was barking out the signals. Here comes Don Strock's first regular season NFL punt.
First quarter is now history. At least the clock has run out. And through the first 15 minutes, it's a 7-7 standoff. We'll be back to New England after this.
Marino, now I understand it's Stevenson because of that stretched arch. Spent the entire week in a cast. They took it off Friday. He's not had a lot of snaps, and he snapped the ball prematurely to Dan Marino as Marino was looking around to tell everybody what play it was, and it ends up in it'll be called a fumble, and Don Strock in to punt. You know, you believe in omens?
No, I don't.
Well, yesterday Miami came here to work out in their uniforms, and the axle on the equipment truck broke. They had to walk through things in their street clothes, and Don Shula was not particularly happy. It may have been a bad omen for today. So far, it's not very good for Miami.
3 more quarters, though, Trump, of bad omens, and it's coming down in bucketfuls. There's going to be a lot of things go wrong in this game because you just can't play perfect football and weather this bad. Driving rain. Wind not that much of a factor, though. The rain is coming pretty much straight down, but these Patriot fans, as tough as the weather, they're hanging right in.
Yeah, well, they know when and where to buy raincoats up here in New England. Irving Fryer giving Don Strock an awful lot of respect. 45 yards deep here. What's he know that we don't?
Pro quality golfer. It's easier to come up on it than have it go over your head in this room. Now Irving is starting to cheat up a little bit. Strock gets away, an acceptable punt. Irving Fryer somehow catches it at the 46, turns wide to the outside. Irving Fryer lost the ball right into the hands of a Dolphin. Miami gets it. Fryer coughs it up. It'll be happening. 33-yard punt.
Jim Jensen comes up with the recovery. The ball just bounced right on the ground and straight up into Jensen's hands. We got a flag down on the play too.
Might be a blocking foul.
Well, then this could take a while. After the catch, before the catch.
14:46 to play in the first half. It's a 7-7 game. Dolphins scored the first possession. They got good field position when Scott Schwades ran back the opening punt of the game, 31 yards, and then Marino threw to Duper for 9 yards and a TD. Play goes. It's a fumble and a recovery by Miami, and the ball will be positioned at the 48-yard line of New England.
Certainly hope in bad weather that you don't have mistakes like this. This ball is slick. Irving Fryer not really protecting it very well.
Not at all.
And that's a fundamental mistake by the New England Patriots, and he scoops it up and hands it right to Jensen. The penalty is on New England. That's declined. Miami gets the ball.
Tie game 7-7. Marino now, as the rain is quite a bit lighter than it's been, but the field is soaked, as you see. Set to go, 1st and 10 from the New England 48. Timing pattern in the flat. Ball is caught by Clayton. Superb athlete that he is. He turns back, lost the defensive back, and got ahead for close to a first down. It'll be a 9-yard gain.
28. Jim Bowman very close to an interception there.
Rookie defensive back scored the touchdown for the Steelers as they lead the favored 49ers at Pittsburgh. New Orleans up in front of one of the top teams in the American Conference, Cleveland. Obi Brenner caught a 5-yard pass. Field goals at other spots. Most points yet are at Indianapolis. Bengals lead the Colts 13-7. Trudeau just threw for a touchdown for Indianapolis. 2nd down and just over 1 for the Dolphins. To the run they go, and look at the stick put on by Andre Tippett. 56 comes in and drills along with Don Blackman, the running back Lorenzo Hampton.
That play took a long time to get to the line of scrimmage, and Tippett and Blackman were right there. Last year, New England couldn't stop anybody running the football. Look at how quickly they are there.
Now with 3rd down and 3 coming up, Dan Marino aligns his team at the 41-yard line of New England. 7-7 game early in the 2nd quarter. Beautifully executed play to Jensen, and he's ahead for a Miami first down. Crash Jensen, who does everything on the football field but blow up the ball, swings out and makes the first down catch.
Playing this year without a neck brace. He normally does. Doesn't throw it very well. It was kind of end over end there, but Miami's got a lot of different weapons in their offensive game plan. Go to the underneath stuff, especially when footing is bad. Pass rush is good. Just take it 5-6 yards at a time.
Rain Trump now has lessened from hurricane proportions to just your basic downpour. Throw and a catch, and they rule it good. Coming down with the ball is Mark Duper on an out pattern as he's ahead for an 11-yard gain. And Dan Marino in the rain at Foxborough again drills it to Duper, the man he hit early in the game for a touchdown.
Claiborne was the man in coverage. Does he get both feet down? Yes, looks like it. The advantage very much in favor of the offensive receiver in the rain because he can place himself, his feet, to make the cuts. The defensive back, in reacting on bad surfaces, always going to be a step slower.
Patriots have Milford Hodge, 97, now in at nose tackle. Hampton has nothing but trouble as he tries the right side of the Patriot defense. On a 1st and 10 play from the 24, he's knocked down for a loss of 2 yards.
One young man on that defensive line that the Patriots have been very, very pleased with over the last couple of years, Garen Varys. A pleasant surprise. He's with Dellenbach, runs around the block. You don't normally get things done there. And the inside, the linebackers catch up with Lorenzo Hampton for a loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
From the last 4 times that Hampton's run the ball, he's lost yardage. But Marino, who knows how to throw it in rain, he's got people who can catch it in bad weather, ready to put it up now on 2nd down and 11. Going for the whole thing.
Oh, what a throw.
Miami to Duper.
What a throw.
Perfect football in the worst conditions. A 25-yard touchdown throw. Dan Marino to Mark Duper.
Boy, that's just
brilliance.
Picture perfect. That was a stop and go by Duper, his 2nd catch of the day for a touchdown. Marino puts this ball up when Duper is dead still. And then Duper goes by Claiborne right on the money. Look at that. Over the outstretched arms of the weak safety. Fred Marion, perfect execution.
So Miami quickly capitalizes on the Irving Fryer fumble, takes it down the field and goes into the end zone from 25 yards out. Reveiz hits the extra point, and the Dolphins again lead by 7, 14-7, with 12:16 to play in the first half. We'll be back with Miami's kickoff after this. Dan Marino, the touchdown maker for Miami, just threw another to Mark Duper, and the Dolphins have taken a 14-7 lead in the rain here at Foxborough. 12:16 to play in the first half. Biggest surprise trump of opening day so far, Steve DeBerg has thrown for 2 touchdowns at Tampa, where the Buccaneers have gone in front of favored Atlanta 14-0. Stephen Starring gets some blocks, loses the ball, and does Miami have it again? Now looks like Starring got it back. Could have a ball on the field virtually every kick.
You're right.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda, bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. By the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by Contel. If you've got information to move, you can communicate with Contel.
Now Grogan tries to rally New England. The favored Patriots on their home field down 14-7. Long ball. Fryer's got it. Big hit by Bud Brown, but he holds on. Irving Fryer, you remember, lost the ball last time he had it. This time he makes a big play for 16 yards and a New England first down.
Don, that's a defense that New England will face all day. It's a double rotation zone. The corners go up, the safeties go out, and there's a dead spot over there on the sideline that you can continue to throw the ball into. But New England already getting away from their game plan, Don. They should, in my estimation, slam the ball at the Miami Dolphins with the run for the rest of this game.
Well, they're coming with a run right now as Perryman, the rookie fullback, takes on some Dolphins and doesn't win. A first down carry, might have gotten a yard or two. David Fry, an outside linebacker, made the stop for Miami.
This is the only time in my estimation that my good friend Steve Grogan is out of place. He is a quarterback who wants to get it in big bunches. The perfect quarterback for New England in this kind of weather, in my estimation, is Tony Eason. Grogan calls a very conservative game for Eason when he's on the sideline, but he wants a very chancy game. Throw it up when he's playing quarterback.
He's a gambler, and everybody loves a gambler till he loses. Grogan again, got a man open. Tip ball, Miami has it, intercepted by Paul Langford at the 48-yard line. They're looking at Lynn Dawson, the tight end, and Langford comes up with the ball, and so the Dolphins, leading 14-7, get the ball back. I might listen to you about running it more.
Well, I'm telling you, you see the turnovers, and Miami's live by those turnovers to come up with points. Now watch Grogan. Zone again by Miami, and he throws it right out there in the middle off of Lynn Dawson's hands. You can't blame that on Steve Grogan. It's a very conservative pass play. But that ball gets heavy, it's very wet, it's hard to catch, and I think the New England Patriots can run the ball over Miami for the rest of the day.
Now Kenneth Sims, Trump, has come in the game, the former #1 draft choice in the league out of Texas. Here is a handoff, and Hampton again is shut down quickly. Miami goes to the run, gets nothing, puts it in the air, and gets plenty. 2 touchdown passes for Marino, and it's a 14-7 game as the clock shows 11 minutes to play in the first half. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy on NBC Sports here at Foxborough. Our producer today for NBC is George Finkel. Our director, John Gonzalez. The executive producer of NBC Sports, Michael Weissman. Opening day 87. At halftime, we'll be going to NFL 87 for an update on the big games underway now. More to follow. A doubleheader day on most of these NBC stations. You'll be seeing Seattle and Denver. Swing pass. Tippett can't hold it. Almost picked off by Lorenzo Hampton. Going to be a lot of stuff in this game. It's going to make the highlight film or the low light.
Good pressure by Kenneth Sims on Dan Marino. Made him look off that first receiver from the right. Barris and Sims both. The ball appears to be intended for the tight end. You see Dan Marino protecting that dislocated ring finger. Let's watch Hardy. He comes across the middle. There's Tippett. Now take it back. It's Ron Davenport out of the backfield. Ball tipped by Tippett. Lorenzo Hampton, 27, almost makes the interception. It goes as an incomplete pass.
And I'll tell you, Trump, Lorenzo would still be running if he caught it. Now Marino on third down and just over 10. Drops to his 38. Long ball. Man is open. Free ball in the air. It's incomplete. And Miami will have to punt it to the Patriots. As we check the scoreboard with 10:25 to play in the first half here, and the Dolphins in the lead 14-7. 49ers just got a field goal to trail Pittsburgh 7-3. Buffalo has gone in front now of the Jets as Jim Kelly threw to newly acquired Trumaine Johnson from 26 yards out. New Orleans still up on Cleveland. Rams with a pair of field goals up on Houston 6-0, and Cincinnati with a 6-point lead at Indianapolis. Don Strock punts the ball in very well. Fair catch signaled for and made at the 9-yard line.
That's a great job by Strock. 41 yards. His second NFL punt ever. That's a big play for Miami.
Reggie Roby, the regular punter, went out earlier with an injury. Steve Grogan's numbers, as you see, 1 interception. Dan Marino's also thrown 1 on a tip ball, but Marino's also hit Dupert twice for touchdowns on sensational plays, particularly the last from 25 yards out, where he beat one of the best players in the league, Raymond Claiborne, on a fly. And Marino was right there looping the ball in the rain into the Patriot end zone. It's now 14-7 game Miami.
Don, we mentioned at the outset of this game with the weather the way it is, field position so vitally important. And here the New England Patriots have 1st and 90. With a wet field, that really hurts the psychology of the offensive team. That's a long way to go with 10:18 to go in his second quarter.
Grogan, the 13-year veteran from Kansas State, is starting today, replacing another member of that celebrated quarterback class of 83, as is Marino. Tony Eason, who's out with a groin injury. He could play if needed. Grogan is 7-1, starting in place of Eason since Eason joined the team. And off straight up the middle. You're not going to go the distance on those plays as we look now at the class of '83. Elway picked by the then Baltimore Colts. He wouldn't play there. Traded to Denver. Blackledge to Kansas City. Finally starting. Jim Kelly at Buffalo just threw a touchdown pass as the Bills lead the Jets. Eason here at New England's had some tremendous numbers. Gets very little press outside this area.
3 of those guys have started Super Bowls.
Marino was the last drafted of the quarterbacks. And he's already ticketed for the Hall of Fame.
We got holding on Miami. Cornerback Paul Langford grabbed Irving Fryer out there in the far side of the field. That's going to be defensive holding on Miami. This is a no-doubter here. Fryer's got so much foot speed and agility, and of course the receiver knows where he's going. You're going to see a lot of that before this day's over too, Don.
Coach Shula has seen days like this before. Rain is, I think, if there's any team conditioned to play in rain, it's Miami.
They get it a lot.
Rains every day when it's hot down there.
That's true. They also play an awful lot, practice an awful lot in rain. Still, though, it looks like the New England mindset is with the original game plan, and that is try to throw the ball. I don't agree with that game plan at this point.
First down, could be putting it up here. Here comes Grogan. Gets time, swings it to Tupu. A conservative pass over the middle. It's good for a gain of about 5 yards out to the 23-yard line. Game clock ticks down now to 9:30 to play in the first half. 14-7 Miami.
Pass protection up front is excellent. Miami's coming with that total zone. The corners go up to the line of scrimmage, try to funnel the wide receivers outside. The safeties rotate out, and the linebackers are responsible for the tight end and the running back up the middle. In that particular instance, a good stop, just a pickup of about 4 yards.
WSVN Channel 7, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
On 2nd and 6, they go to the run. Here comes Tony Collins, who broke a 19-yarder earlier, and he's out to the 27-yard line. Got a block from Sean Farrell, the left guard. Bring up 3rd and short now for New England.
Playing the spot made famous by John Hanna, and Farrell comes from Tampa to the New England Patriots. An excellent block on
He's not done.
On 49 William Judson.
Got 2 of them.
Now keep that up. If you're a New England fan, you want him to do that. It's senseless in my estimation to put the ball up because you're really putting your team in jeopardy. New England can run the ball. It's a state of mind. They can do it here.
Pass game hasn't hurt Miami, though. Marino's been in the end zone twice. Long ball. Fryer goes up. It's almost picked off at the 33-yard line. A Dolphin, Paul Langford, who intercepted a short time ago, you remember, almost got his 2nd of the day.
See, that's a 3rd down and short when you need long, sustained drives, and Grogan calls his own plays, and you can see Langford starting. He's going to be backing up at the snap of the ball with Fryer. You're not going to get deep on Miami. Someone's got to sit down with Steve Grogan and say, wait a minute. Let's change our mind here. Let's be more conservative and grind it out.
That was an interesting point you made, Trump, that when he calls the game for Eason, which he does, it's a conservative game plan. When he gets in there,
put it up.
Bombs away. Rich Camarillo into punt again now for New England. Gets a low snap. Drills a line drive downfield, and Schwades can't get to it. It goes all the way down to the goal line.
That's in the end zone. On the line. Look at
that. On
that.
the white line. Would have been inches from 73-yard punt. Dolphins get the ball when we come back. The Patriots have won their last 3 home openers, but not at the moment. They're not winning as Grogan gets some counsel from Coach Raymond Berry on the sideline. The Dolphins, with Marino throwing for 2 touchdowns, both to Duper, lead the game 14-7. We have 7:56 to play in the first half. Marino with his super fast receivers, Duper and Clayton to either side. This is Clayton in motion. High back is Hampton. Not much. Got a couple out to the 22-yard line. Steve Nelson, the veteran inside backer who missed much of last season with an knee injury, back and playing well. He made the tackle.
And you can see how much Dwight Stevenson is limping. He has that stretched arch on his right foot and has a special pad underneath it. I think it's a matter of simply how much pain he can stand before he has to come out of this ballgame. Watch him go to the line of scrimmage.
What a great player.
He's hurting. One of the highest thresholds of pain, from what I understand, of anybody who's ever played the game.
Another great players in the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And now the handoff goes, and working hard to keep the ball is Davenport. Shula has counseled his running back strongly. 2 arms on the ball. Now while we have a moment, let's go to New York. Bob Costas and NFL Live.
Well, Don, the Jets have beaten the Bills 6 straight times, but both of last year's games were very close, and Buffalo is in front early at home today. Trumaine Johnson takes the 26-yard touchdown pass from Jim Kelly. It's 7-0 Buffalo. Hey, Don, has Trumpy cooled off any since the pregame show?
Well, he's calming down a little bit.
Always in control. Always in control.
I got a whip and a chair up here, keeping him at bay. 6:38 to play. First half. Dolphins in the shotgun on 3rd down and 6. Up it goes. Free ball. Everybody's got to play on it. Incomplete. And the Dolphins will punt the ball to New England with 6:26 to go in the first half.
That ball was intended for Troy Stratford.
Volleyball.
Yes, sir.
Now look at the scoreboard. Philadelphia gets on the board. Buddy Ryan under the gun in Philadelphia, playing at heavily favored Washington today. Dallas now tied up with St. Louis. Kansas City with a 3-0 lead on San Diego. Those scores not changing here in Foxborough. It's 14-7 Miami. Tampa Bay now with another touchdown out in front of Atlanta, 21-7. Big rush. Don Strock gets it away. It'll be tough to handle. Big Dolphin bounce inside the 35 and down to the 29-yard line.
He's done a remarkable job. 46 yards on that punt.
And so the Dolphin punter, Don Strock, who came in when Reggie Roby was injured early in the game, again makes the New England offense go the long field. Coming up on NFL Live at halftime, Frank DeFord takes a look at James Lofton of the L.A. Raiders, who today is going back to Green Bay to play against his old team, the Packers, plus all the scores and stories of opening day 1987 on NFL Live with Bob, Ahmad, Paul, and Frank. Grogan loses the ball, and the Dolphin comes a-calling. Grogan got it back. 3rd time in this game that's happened to him.
John, let's give a certain amount of credit here. I think one of the reasons New England's not been able to run the ball is Soche, the nose tackle for the Miami Dolphins. We've got an injured player down. Art Plunkett is on the field. But Soche, the nose tackle for the Dolphins, doing a great job against Paul Fairchild, making his first start at center. Watch this matchup. See, Soche is standing at center up, and all you need is a stalemate from that nose tackle, and it basically tears down the 34 defense. There's Plunkett, 70, on the ground. He's the left tackle. Watch what happens. Let's see if we can pick it up. Oh, he gets hit. He gets hit by Brown. He gets hit by Mark Brown, and it twists his knee a little bit. The replacement will be Steve Moore as New England tries to go 2nd and 10.
Fumbled snap. This time the Dolphins have the ball. Coming up with it is Mark Brown, an inside linebacker, as the Patriots again cough it up, and I wonder if we might see a change somewhere, because the center quarterback connection for New England flat out is not working.
That's 4 turnovers now for the New England Patriots. In a nutshell, Miami's handled the weather. New England has not. Paul Fairchild, the center, making his first start at center, and Soche, the nose tackle, causing some problems for Paul Fairchild. And the snap, Soche was right up on the center's nose. Once again, Miami with great field position.
Dolphins lead the game 14-7 on 2 Dan Marino touchdown passes to Mark Duper. 5:36 to play, first half. Looking for more. There's a man. Clayton's out there. He's got the ball at the 2-yard line. Marino, in a driving rainstorm, eating the heavily favored Patriots alive.
Ronnie Lepet on the coverage. New England's done a great job of disguising the coverage, but watch Marino look around. He'll throw it anywhere. 27 yards. Clayton does a great job coming back for the football. Watch this. It's basically up for grab, but Clayton comes back for the football in front of Lepet. First and goal, Miami. Miami has handled this weather. New England has not.
Tell you, Trump, the way the Patriots have moved the ball or have failed to move it, Miami punches this in. It could be lights out early. This is not a game to come, or not a day to come from behind in.
You're absolutely correct. New England does have the offensive weapons, but this driving rainstorm and slick field pretty much neutralizes the foot speed of Irving Fryer and Stanley Morgan. Dan Marino going to the sideline. We'll talk with Don Strock, Don Shula. It looked like they were a man short on the offense. The headset right behind Marino. Jaws, Ron Jaworski.
Last year for the Dolphins, it was a case of whoever has the ball last wins. In an early game, Marino threw for 5 touchdown passes and over 400 yards at Giant Stadium against the Jets. But the Dolphins lost 51-45 in overtime. Dolphins got off to a horrendous start, 2-5, did win 6 of their last 8 to finish the season at 500, but of course did not make the playoffs as their defense gave up more points than any other in the NFL, offsetting the greatness of the offense, which outscored all other NFL teams.
Last year, just to add to your point about the defense, 4 times the Dolphins scored 27 points or more, and that once you're talking about when they scored 45, they lost all 5 games. But you put 21 points on the board in the first half in New England in a driving rainstorm. What a tremendous start for the Miami Dolphins, who last year began the season 1-4. Raymond's going to have to throw a chair or hit a chalkboard here at halftime to get things straightened out for the Patriots.
But who can stop the rain? It looks like it's going to be here till Tuesday. Just like Miami seems to like it. Marino looks, throws, touchdown, Davenport. Miami takes a 20-7 lead. 3 touchdown throws for the greatest touchdown passer in the game.
Well orchestrated. There's Danny Marino talking to Woody Bennett, 34. Joel Williams in the background. This should come right at you. They flood the area with the tight end, 84, Bruce Hardy. And the defensive back kind of gets caught in the wash, and it's an easy 6 points for Miami. No, sir.
From our NBC statistician, Dennis Mnuchin, points out that Miami has started 3 drives in New England territory and has scored a touchdown on each.
All 3 of them by turnover, too, right?
Yep. 4:42 left to go in the first half, and the Dolphins have extended their lead over the favored Patriots to 21-7. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. What about a strike? We're going to have one?
I don't want to talk about that now. This may be this season, may be a 2-act play.
I tell you, all these games could be doubly important if it strike of any extent.
The answer to your question is, yes, I think there will be a strike. I don't think it'll last 57 days, but I do think it'll be a strike.
Do you think if the players were polled individually in a closed voting booth that they'd strike?
No, but that's true of an awful lot of unions having problems with management. It's the group mentality that gets it done. That's why they don't have individual private ballots.
Union is insistent on free agency.
No chance.
Not any. Owners say they won't even discuss it. Al Davis would have this Pro Bowl team out in Irwindale.
Or somewhere out there.
Maybe play him at Maracanã in Rio, the biggest stadium in the world. Kick downfield. Perriman runs it back for New England. Head down. The big back from Michigan takes it out to the 35-yard line. 21-7 Miami. Let's go to New York. NFL 87 and Bob Costas.
Don, watch the work of Christian Okoye of Kansas City, their second-round draft pick, 250-pound fullback, a Nigerian who went to Azusa Pacific. He takes off for a 43-yard touchdown. He's got 77 yards in the first half already. Chiefs 10, Chargers nothing.
Now we got Pete Brock now at center for New England, replacing Paul Fairchild, the old warrior, back in the lineup here.
He's been hurt, but he's going to be in there now. Grogan takes a look, throws well in the rain. The ball is caught at the 48-yard line and out to the 50-yard line for a first down. Stanley Morgan comes down with the ball, a 16-yard reception, his first of the day. What a season he had a year ago. Caught almost 1,500 yards worth of passes, caught 84. As the scoreboard now, NFL Live showed you with Bob Costas goes up Kansas City with that Christian Okoye run to a 10-0 lead.
And now New England in a position where they almost have to throw the ball to get back in the ball game quickly.
Running with the ball is Tony Collins, and he gets down to the 45-yard line of Miami. Time is indeed becoming a factor here in the first half. The game clock is now down to 3:45 to play and running.
Fairchild with his problems with a snap between he and Steve Grogan. They put Pete Brock in. Good double team with him and Farrell. Tony Collins should show up in the picture here momentarily. There he is.
Collins has gained 52 yards and 11 carries. His 12th is going to be good for a gainer as he's ahead for a first down to the Miami 39-yard line. Jackie Shipp, an inside linebacker, knocked him down. Correction, the Steelers have gone in front 14-3 on San Francisco. The Jets have come back now to tie Buffalo, and Philadelphia's done the same at RFK, tying up the Redskins at 10-all. .250 to play in the first half. Clock running. Dolphins on defense lead the game 21-7. Dan Marino has thrown for 3 touchdowns, the first 2 to Mark Duper, the last to Ron Davenport from a yard out. Swing pass goes, bobbled but caught by Tony Collins, and he's down to the 29-yard line. Very well done by the Patriots as Collins comes out of the backfield, makes the reception for a first down. Now they're going to mark him out of bounds just short of it, but he does stop the clock getting out of bounds.
Mark Brown on the tackle, and you can see this Miami defense at the snap of the ball backing up. There's a lot of room underneath. Steve Grogan now realizes that, going to the outlet receivers in a very conservative approach, which is correct for New England. Quit throwing it up on top and take it underneath, and hopefully their running backs will break a tackle, turn it into a big game.
Marino's success throwing in the rain might be prompting Raymond Berry to go more to the pass. We've got to get back in it the same way. Here's another throw and catch. Stanley Morgan, Langford, playing 10 yards off him.
Excellent point.
And with good reason. He's got an option route there. He can either turn it out or turn it up down into the end zone, and Langford doesn't want that.
Morgan is certainly someone you want to respect. Last year, 84 catches and 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, and blazing foot speed. And football is a pretty simple game. You do 2 things. Control the 1 foot on the other side of the football, and you take what the defense will give you. And as long as those cornerbacks drop, take the underneath stuff.
First and 10, New England at the 22. Trap block. Draw play. On the run goes Mosey Katupu, and he's down to the 14-yard line.
Now, see, the other half of that is if you've got cornerbacks backing up for fear of the foot speed of Stanley Morgan and also Irving Fryer, then they're not there for support. Now, watch when Katupu gets to the outside. Once he gets outside away from that linebacker, there's no corner there for the tackle. Brown will finally, along with Langford, get him down, but it's a big pickup again for New England.
2-minute warning is given. Patriots challenging. We'll be back. In weather like this, Trump, when the game of football was played without a forward pass, that might be all we'll see the rest of the way. It seems to be the only thing that's moving the ball.
Well, I do think now New England's got its mind right, and that is they're taking the underneath stuff. They realize the cornerbacks from Miami are moving all over the place, and they're also running the ball conservatively, straight ahead, not going with the delays and stuff like that. And they started this drive at their own 34, so now New England feels better about their chances, and boy, do they need points in this before this first half ends. With 2 minutes, they must get the ball in the end zone. A field goal here is a tremendous lift for Miami. So this is a touchdown drive where Miami goes in at halftime steamed. I mean, good steamed.
Big House Moore is in the game at left tackle. Hey, Steve Moore has his own area code. He can out-eat the fridge. Now, Grogan goes to the run, and Collins dips to the outside, beats Brzezinski for the moment, and then good pursuit by Miami. As Mark Brown came across, he's been a standout this summer. He's bulked up as Mark Brown, 51. Now they play him a little like they used to play Dewey, all over the field, inside and out.
Watch this defense. You see the good lateral pursuit by the entire Miami Dolphins. There's 1, 2, 3 out there to make the tackle. When you got bad weather like this, you pretty much have to take what you can get and then get out of there. John Boza was out there to also assist on the tackle.
You remember the Patriots tried 2 earlier field goals. One was wide, one was short. Big down now. 3rd down and about 5.5 for New England. Grogan gets time, goes to the end zone. Man is open. Touchdown to Irving Fryer. 1:48 to play in the first half. A 17-yard throw and catch. So Fryer, who coughed it up earlier on a miscue that ultimately led to a Miami touchdown, comes back to make a big reception in the end zone in the rain.
He beat Paul Langford, the cornerback, on the near side. Tremendous advantage. Here you see Fryer cut underneath. Cut on top, excuse me, and Langford cuts in front of Fryer. Grogan likes to throw that ball long. They're going to have to be meteorites hitting this turf before he'll go with the short stuff, I guess.
Now Tony Franklin back on the field to try the extra point. Extra point is up and good, and so the Dolphins lead is cut to 7 with 1:48 to play in the first half.
Watch what happens on this play, Don. A nice little pick, but it's a legal pick. If you can get the defensive back to run into the defensive back, they're not going to call a penalty on you. It happens to the left when it looks like Morgan cuts to the inside. Yes, Fryer cuts to the outside, and Langford misplays that one. Misplays that one completely, and it's 6 points New England.
Been a game of big plays, big mistakes, and there'll be more with this weather. A driving rainstorm here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, that is expected to last through the day and perhaps all through the night. And now Easter, as they call it. Irving Fryer, many gifts, great athlete. By his own admission, does not concentrate as well as he should. He said he dropped 12 balls he should have caught last year. But he's off the board when it comes to ability, and he's only going to get better. He's been under a lot of criticism here, and he said his minister told him, reputation is what other people think of you. Character is what you really are. And he said, I'm not worried about that.
Looks like New England might even try they're just switching their kickoff coverage here. Now, for the first time, Miami's going to have 4 field position. The most important thing for Schwades and Stratford, 2 rookies back on the kickoff. Make sure you catch it and hang on to it.
This is where it's happening on opening day at Foxborough, Mass. Franklin ready to boot the ball. Never played soccer in his native Fort Worth. Just learned to kick that way. Knocks it deep downfield, and Schwades will down the ball wisely. Schwades showed up at training camp. Some of the people thought he was a ball boy. Didn't look like a football player.
He still does.
Until they give him the football.
Yeah. That was a good kick by Tony Franklin, too. He doesn't get many to the goal line.
NFL Live is next. This is an upset of sorts, at least at the moment, with the Dolphins leading the favored Patriots 21-7.
Look at those numbers in this driving rainstorm. I think if I'm Dan Marino here, I try to be very conservative in this final minute 45 of the first half. You don't want a turnover. You don't want anything to happen to give New England a chance to get that tying score going in at halftime. So look for something on the ground, underneath the coverage.
Dan Marino, over the 4 years he's played in the NFL, has averaged almost 24 completions a game. He's averaged almost 3 touchdowns a game, over 35 a season. And he's averaged almost 300 yards a game.
That's the most remarkable statistic.
If he keeps going, he'll be without question the greatest, most prolific quarterback that ever played pro football.
No denying that. But here's an interesting point. Of the top 10 passing performances in the NFL in 1986, individual passing performances. The team that got that performance was only 5-5. Of the top 10 individual receiving performances in 1986, the team that got that performance was 4-6. But of the top 10 individual rushing performances in 1986, the team that got that performance, 9-1.
So you can't. Running the ball is still the way to get there.
Absolutely.
When you're running the ball, particularly against Miami, Marino can't throw it. They just added 4 seconds on the clock, and that got the faithful stirred up here in New England. 1:49 to play, first half. Marino goes to the run, and Lorenzo Hampton breaks it for the moment out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Knocked down on the play by Jim Bowman and Andre Tippett.
Don, Bruce Hardy, the tight end, watch him. See, he's looking. He's not ready for this play to start. And he manages to get a kind of a block on Andre Tippett. Tippett's still there to make an assist on the tackle, but Hardy didn't get the message. And they might have picked up more yardage.
Game clock ticking down. 1:15 to play now in the first half. Miami with a 21-14 lead. Second down and 2. Possession football, and Lorenzo Hampton takes on tacklers. You see those Miami backs not risking it. 2 arms around the ball. You come out of the game if you don't do that.
Correct. Now that should do it for the half. There's 57 seconds left. Very, very intelligent approach by Don Shula, Dan Marino. Let's take no chances here. We're happy going up by 7 points. If it's possible, believe me, it's raining harder now than it ever has before.
Last year when the Dolphins played here in Foxborough, the Patriots buried them 37-7. Hampton popped. Lawrence McGrew got him, and then he's knocked down on a first down carry back at the 35-yard line.
Blackman and Jim Bowman on the tackle. That'll do it for the half.
So the first 2 quarters are history. As the clock ticks down and we go to halftime and set to go to New York, and NFL Live with the scores and the stories of opening day 1987. Miami, winner of the first half, the 2 highest scoring teams in pro football a year ago, despite this bad weather, picking right up where they left off. 45 points on the board in 1 half of play, with more to come. Dolphins getting their 3 touchdowns on Dan Marino passes. Would you believe 35 points?
I would believe 35.
NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
New England's lost the ball inside their own territory. Miami's had a very short field to work with to score on, and all 3 times they've got the pass receptions in the end zone. Duper.
The final numbers, and that's not in New England's favor at the moment.
Sure, the turnovers, they kill any stat that you're going to look at except for the turnovers. 4 turnovers, 3 have directly resulted in points by Miami. And in this kind of weather, you've got to be conservative in your approach. As a punt returner, as a kickoff returner, make sure the catch. Yardage means absolutely nothing. In the case of Marino, I think they probably had a lot of practices in weather like this. It's no big deal. His dislocated finger on his throwing hand is of no real problem to him. Numbers in the first half are very good. The 1 interception, a tipped ball. And you can't really blame that on Marino. Grogan, on the other hand, he is totally in charge of this offense, calls his own plays. He orchestrates the offense. He calls in the players he wants, and frankly, not done a very good job of calling the game in the first half. 8 of 11, 90 yards and 1 interception, but
doesn't look too bad, though, when you look at the
total numbers, you mean?
Well, as Disraeli said a long time ago, there are lies, damnable lies, and statistics. But I think one of the things that really worked against Grogan was he got the ball to Irving Fryer, who turned it right over, but Irving came back then to make a fine catch in the end zone. Miami's lost 10 of the last 13 times they've been to this stadium. The kickoff coming up now is sponsored by Budweiser, as Coach Shula gives final counsel to his Dolphins. Their receiving team comes out now to start the 3rd quarter. Coach Shula, in his 25th year, looking like a duck hunter. I think the ducks are inside today. It's raining about as hard as it can. There's torrents coming down. It's let up a little, but even when it let up, it was a heavy rain. That grass don't grow, Trump.
No, it doesn't.
So now Mr. Franklin has the ball teed up and ready to put it in the air, and in all probability what happens in the way of turnovers over the final 2 quarters, as was the case over the first 2, will determine the outcome of this game as the Dolphins take a 7-point lead over the favored Patriots into quarter 3. This kickoff sponsored by Budweiser. As you look at the deep end now, Scott Schwade's 81 is back deep, and back with him is Troy Stratford, another rookie. Franklin, not a long kickoff man, hits it downfield, and they let it go out of bounds, and so the Dolphins will take over the ball.
At the 35.
New rule.
Kickoff out of bounds. The receiving team will take it at the 35. They give him 35 yards as opposed to kicking it over. Try to speed up the game a little bit.
The one shortcoming Franklin has is he's not a deep kickoff man, but he's been excellent at putting it into corners and giving people problems running it back. But that advantage is taken away this year, as you just saw illustrated. When he does put it out of bounds, it's very expensive now. Instead of kicking with a 5-yard penalty a second time, the ball comes right out to the receiving team's 35-yard line.
This is a very big series for both these teams. The Dolphins can get some yards here and keep that New England offense off the field. Long way towards winning this game.
Straight ahead carry across the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. Miami runs it to set the pace and get some people knocking to open the 3rd quarter. Toronto leading the Yankees 3-1. Yankees are history. How about the Mets?
Whoa, bad weekend. Cardinals beat him without Jack Clark and Willie McGee going 0 for 5 last night.
Marino throws, and Bruce Hardy with a 2-handed catch takes it ahead for a Miami first down. He's out to the 46-yard line. Some of these Patriots fans, Trump, have now left the building to get out of those wet clothes and into a dry martini. Something of that nature.
They are very, very quiet here. Their team down 21-14, and Miami starting the second half again. Very, very conservative. Very happy to just eat it in little chunks, you know, 8-10 yards at a time. That's fine. We're okay.
Linebackers come up tight. Blackman and Tippett ready to put the pressure on if the pass is called, but they go to the run again, and the carry is ahead out to the 48-yard line. Garen Veras made the stop on Lorenzo Hampton of Miami early in the 3rd quarter, with the Dolphins leading the game 21-14.
Now, I'll tell you what, Dwight Stevenson is eating up Toby Williams as the nose tackle.
Dwight Stevenson eats up everybody. He'd eat up Godzilla.
Well, he's doing a great job. That's that one spot in the New England defense that the nose tackle has got to at least neutralize that center.
Tremendous player. 57 with the ball to the right. Moves people all over.
Audible here by Marino.
He's going to throw. Dan Marino looks and fires a tip ball at the 41-yard line. Incomplete and no flags. It'll be 3rd down and a long 7.
Tip by Lawrence McGrew coming out of his linebacker spot. He got out there. Ray Claiborne on the coverage. Clayton running the little slant. You pretty much have to, if you're a quarterback on a day like this, throw your keys out. You sit all week and you look at what teams do. There you see McGrew, 50, almost get his hand on it. But in bad weather, you change your defense. You change your keys a great deal. Here's that 4 wide receiver set now for Miami. Jim Jensen in the backfield with Marino. Both can throw now.
Marino puts it up, and the man can't hang on. James Pruitt going for the ball. Pruitt was somewhat of a disappointment as a rookie, but he has been spectacular this summer. 2nd-year player out of Cal State Fullerton.
Watch the pass protection. Just 17 sacks last year given up by this offensive line, and they got them all in a big bunch. That was on Marino. That was a poorly thrown ball behind Pruitt. That's not on Pruitt, the receiver. Don Strock into punt. His 4th time today.
Shanked it a bit. It kicks out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, and New England will go on offense there. And I know, Trump, you're a great believer in that opening drive of the third quarter both ways. That was just a 15-yarder by Strock, who's come on to replace the injured Reggie Roby, and until now has punted very well in the worst possible conditions. Grogan threw for high percentage in the first half, but he needs big plays now to get back in it.
Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by STP, makers of STP oil treatment. We've got what it takes to perform.
To the run go the Patriots. First down carry by Tony Collins, and he's out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. A somewhat encouraging report on Reggie Roby. The initial diagnosis of his injury was a very badly sprained ankle, and he could miss a few weeks, but so far he's going to be examined again tonight. There's nothing to indicate that surgery is required. We certainly hope not.
That is so fortunate for the Miami Dolphins and Reggie Roby.
So now, with second down and 5 coming up for the Patriots, the ball at their 41-yard line. They go to Mosey to Tupu, and he doesn't get much, trying the right side of the Miami defense. As we check the scoreboard, Pittsburgh, an underdog on its home field, standing tall today at Three Rivers with a 17-3 lead over the 49ers. The Jets and another touchdown pass by O'Brien lead the Bills. As the scoreboard changes, Tampa Bay laying waste to Atlanta. 3rd and 3. Grogan gets a look, gets a man. He throws it to Collins. He has a first down for New England out to the 47-yard line of the Patriots.
Mark Brown on the tackle. Collins out of the backfield. Jackie Schiff also there to help. I think after going in at halftime, the coaches upstairs have told Steve Grogan, look, those cornerbacks are dropping way off. Let's take the underneath stuff. Let's be very conservative. And in that particular instance, it worked. Just enough for a first down, but that's basically all you need. Pete Brock still at center now, replacing Paul Fairchild.
Grogan on 1st and 10. Quick out goes, and super fast Stanley Morgan turns it upfield and almost breaks it. He's ahead, though, for a first down. Morgan gets the ball down to the Dolphins' 43-yard line. It's a first down for New England.
Judson on the coverage. You can understand why these cornerbacks are giving him so much room with his foot speed. This starts with pass protection up front. Several exchange problems between Fairchild and Grogan in the first half. The old warrior Pete Brock comes in on Sauché. Does a great job just keeping Sauché at the line of scrimmage. First down pickup, New England drive alive.
Patriots down by 7. 10:58 to play, third quarter. To Tupu. Takes it ahead and gets across to the 39-yard line. Knocked down on the play by Brian Sauché, again, the middle guard, number 70 for Miami.
He's the guy who makes the tackle, but he also makes it 4 yards down the field. Brock that time. Let's see what happens here. Got that right shoulder on him. He handles him by himself. That's what you want your center to do. And you don't mind the nose tackle of your opponent making the tackle 4 yards down the field. Collins now 14 carries for 63 yards.
Grogan on the sprint out.
Dawson.
Caught at the 27-yard line. Underneath it went. Dawson was running late and turned back and got the ball. Lynn Dawson, who doesn't get many thrown to him, his forte is the block for the run. Patriots looking sharp on this opening drive of theirs in the second half.
Little roll. You can see Jackie Schiff lets 87 Lynn Dawson go by. Mark Brown eventually on the tackle. Dawson looked like he got hurt. He got up, went straight to the sideline. And, of course, he's got that bad knee. He missed an entire season last year.
He was hurt early in Super Bowl 20. And the wipeout by the Bears of New England. Grogan play faking. Here comes Boza. Release and drop ball at the 24-yard line. Going on the play to Greg Beatty, a second-year tight end from Stanford. So it brings up 2nd down and 10, as Grogan's statistics are most impressive from a percentage standpoint, but it's been Marino who's been in the end zone 3 times for Miami's 21-14 lead.
New England now using Fryer and Stanley Morgan as pure and simple decoys, getting those cornerbacks off and then trying to get receivers underneath on the linebackers. The linebackers of the Dolphins, not particularly quick afoot.
Grogan stands in, lets her fly. He's got a man. Stanley Morgan down to the 12-yard line. First down, Patriots on a 16-yard gain. Been an excellent game. Everything has happened and more to come with 9:15 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Pass protection fair. Brzezinski, he beats Tony Collins. Brzezinski treats him nicely, though. And once again, Miami with that total zone coverage. Great respect for the foot speed of these outside receivers by New England. A lot of spots in the middle open, Don.
Pitch back goes to Tony Collins. Turns the corner on Brown, and Tony Collins is down to the 5-yard line. Knocked out of bounds on the play by Mark Brown.
Somebody missed the block. Let's see who's supposed to block Mark Brown. This is a sweep. This is the running back that's supposed to block Mark Brown. He goes out of the picture. It's Tatupu. Well, it wasn't Tatupu who missed. He got his block. Somebody missed Mark Brown. Collins is down the sideline and very close to the score. As it is, 2nd down and about 5.
10th play of this drive. First possession of the 3rd quarter for New England. Challenging for what could be a tying touchdown if they hit the extra point, but they're not in yet. Here's a handoff. Collins got room to run. He's heading for the end zone. Glenn Blackwood makes a diving try, but Collins is in the end zone. It is a touchdown for New England, and at the extra point coming up, we could have a tie game with 8:42 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Great blocking up front. I believe I'm correct here. We're going to see it on replay that Lynn Dawson made just a crushing block on the corner. It'll come to your right. Yeah, there you see the double team. He just creams. Oh, it's Greg Beatty, 85. He just creamed John Bosa and really made the channel for Tony Collins. And if you're wondering, that cone, that orange cone is inbounds and in the end zone. If you hit it, it's a score.
The extra point spun up and good by Tony Franklin, and so the Dolphins, who had a 14-point lead, now are locked in a tie ball game with the Patriots. New England kicks it off when we come back. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at New England, where the Patriots have rallied to tie the game on their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. A sustained drive with Grogan hitting 4 of 5 for 40 yards. Then running back Tony Collins taking it out for a sweep run in from 6 yards away. Now Dan Marino paces the sidelines for Miami. His right arm has gunned down 3 touchdown throws, 2 to Duper, 1 to Davenport. And he'll be back out and operating very shortly. Right now, Franklin has the ball teed up. They have the returners stacked so they can't kick it away. High spinning kick. Troy Stratford, rookie from Boston College, loses the handle. He's got a big problem and very wisely slaps it out of bounds, albeit in horrendous field position for Miami.
Don, back to the touchdown. Watch the job that's done by Greg Beatty. He's the tight end right here. We got a double team block here and here. We got a double guard pull. Watch the job Beatty does on Bosa. Just creams him, crushes him. Both guards able to get outside. Collins sees that cone, and an excellent drive culminated by this run, a good stiff arm, and the score is tied.
Now let's see if Marino can take the noise out of the Foxborough Sullivan Stadium by making a big play. Patriot fans with tremendous noise density now, cascading down on the field as Marino goes to the run. Straight ahead give, and Woody Bennett doesn't get much. He's to the 15-yard line, a gain of just 2 yards. Toby Williams and Garen Veras knocked him down for New England.
You know that my theory on that opening drive of the second half, the opening drive, you see Stevenson handling Toby Williams. He's still there to make the tackle, but New England stops Miami, takes the ball and scores. Now they've got the emotion, the momentum on their side, the Patriots do.
Marino, 2nd and long. Here's a throw and a catch as Hardy loses the ball. Lepette's going in for a touchdown. Intercepted by Ronnie Lepet, and in he goes.
This would be a day that Bruce Hardy would like to forget. 84 is the primary receiver. Overthrown ever so slightly.
Room service.
Lepet with 8 interceptions in 86. You got it. A room service bounce and Lepet in the end zone.
So now all of a sudden, as the Patriots hit fast, Franklin puts up another extra point. And New England, down 21-7, has scored 21 unanswered points to take a 28-21 lead.
The reason I say this is not Bruce Hardy's day, he was the guy who snapped the ball when Reggie Roby got hurt too. Now one bounces off his hands and goes for...
It's like a rock concert in the rain, an ex-Miami University Hurricane. Ronnie Lepet picking off a tip ball off the hands of Dolphin tight end Bruce Hardy, and then he ran it in. Now... the kickoff downfield. It's going to be taken by Schwades at the 11-yard line. Weaving and looking and in trouble. He's down at the 16-yard line. Bob Perryman came down and knocked him down. Another rookie. And here comes Dan Marino. That looked like, I think that was Lepet's first touchdown, wasn't it, Trump?
Absolutely.
Looking at the ticker, the Jets have extended their lead over the Bills to 17-7 now in the third quarter.
There's a surprise for Cleveland, New Orleans, 14-14.
Everybody says New Orleans is tough. We know Cleveland is.
Indianapolis on top of Cincinnati, 14-13. Tampa Bay, whoa.
Ray Perkins laying waste. Handoff. Boy, those Patriots are going hunting the football now. And in the words of Kansas City coach Frank Gans,
that dog will hunt.
Some dogs who will hunt. Baseball scores. Detroit in the chase with Toronto for the American League Eastern pennant. Rain delay between the Mets and the Cardinals. Hernandez guaranteed the Mets would win at least 2 of 3, maybe sweep.
Whoops.
Planning to start that at 3. Nice throw by Marino to Mark Duper, who catches the ball in this pouring rain, just torrents. It's coming down harder than ever now.
Raymond Claiborne on the coverage. Once again, you see the advantage by the receiver. He can measure his steps around that corner. Duper knows where he's going, so Claiborne has to give him a pretty good cushion. Nice 12-yard pickup, first down Miami. And the rain is coming down even harder.
Duper, as you see, having a big day, though, with 4 receptions for 57 yards. Most importantly, he's been in the end zone with the ball twice. Hampton breaks it. Fighting hard as Marion knocks him down along with Bowman. Jim Bowman and Fred Marion are the safeties. Lepet and Claiborne are the corners.
Excellent job by Hampton getting over that line of scrimmage. He avoids the tackle by Blackman. Nice pickup of about 7-8 yards. Comfortable call here, 2nd and 2.
Dolphins trailing for the first time in the game. 28-21. Not much there, but they didn't need much. They did get enough for the first down as the run was made by Ron Davenport, and Steve Nelson made the tackle.
Plays seem to be coming in with Pruitt 82 and Clayton 83 from Don Strock and also Don Shula.
Raymond Berry with one of the few coaches who has a winning ledger against Shula. He's 4-1 against Miami teams. The trickster, and here goes Marino. He's on the run. He throws it, and he just got rid of the ball before they got him. Patriot safeties didn't bite. They stayed right with the deep threat. Clayton running the fly.
You're absolutely correct. Good call. They didn't bite. Davenport into the line, flips it back. Blackman all over Marino. Marino showing pretty good movement there, but he just threw that ball away.
The numbers for Dan Marino. Now it is 2nd down and 10. Game clock shows 5:05 to play in the 3rd quarter. New England 28, Miami 21. Dolphins led at 1 point, 21-7. Screen pass, and they get it to Hampton in open field, and Lorenzo Hampton is knocked down at the 50-yard line, short of a first down.
Marino was cold-cocked.
Marino hit very hard and not happy about it.
Yeah, that was a screen pass, and it almost looked like it was going to Stevenson. See, Lorenzo Hampton blocks Blackman 55 and then pays for it. That's Kenneth Sims, 77.
Talk about hombres. Patriots have the hombres.
Watch Dwight Stevenson. He's part of the screen here, but he gets tied up with Toby Williams, puts his hand up, and 27, not 57, catches the ball. Now Miami with 2 tight ends. Hardy and Joel Williams in. 3rd and short.
3rd down, just over a yard for Miami.
Uh-oh.
Marino putting it up. He's
Hardy.
got a man open. Hardy, the tight end, in a big defensive play. Ball is tipped away by Raymond Claiborne.
Whoa.
A Pro Bowl player, now in his 10th year. Soon to be a lawyer.
Excellent coverage by
Well,
Raymond
that was
Claiborne.
huge because Hardy was wide open.
Hardy was open. Good play action fake. Every time Marino throws it, there's somebody there. That's Kenneth Sims all over him. And Don Strock into punt. His last one, 15 yards.
He had some good ones earlier, though. You see, as long as 46. Hands in the towel, waiting for the punt, Irving Fryer. And the marker's down.
34-yard punt. Fryer just caught the ball. Very smart. Where's the flag? I don't see it, Don. I know they get offsides. Defense. Oh, that'll give them a first down. Big play. That drives coaches nuts. What are you offsides for? On a punt, what value is it to be up there so close to the line of scrimmage? It keeps the drive alive for Miami. Oh, my goodness.
Defense, offsides, number 55, first down.
Tom Dooley, the referee. So the Dolphins get a first down as the ball will now be positioned at the 45-yard line of New England. 4:01 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Don Blackman was lined up offsides. Tremendous mental error.
Marino goes to Lorenzo Hampton. Straight ahead running is again. The offensive blocking is keyed by the All-Pro center, Dwight Stevenson. The Steelers extending their lead still greater now, up by 17 over favored San Francisco. Washington with the knockout punch on Philadelphia. Now New Orleans has opened up a 21-14 lead over Cleveland. Ed Reynolds is in now, backing the line, one of the backers for New England. Game clock ticking. 3:26 to go, 3rd quarter. Throw and a catch, wide open on the flank. Coming down with the ball at the 34-yard line is Mark Duper. Had the ball stripped, but they whistled it dead.
Yeah, he was down. Again, wide receivers have a definite advantage in conditions like this. The cornerbacks are going to give them a big cushion. And now Marino taking the approach that Steve Grogan took at the end of the first half and beginning of the second half. Go with the underneath stuff. The cornerbacks are going to be laying off deep. Let's just take those hitches and little quick outs. See what they get us. Corners back again, Don. Very, very deep here.
Slant run by Lorenzo Hampton, and the big linebackers for New England quickly move into the gaps and stuff it. First down carry was good for about 2 yards. Lawrence McGrew, another outstanding backer on the inside. They had a guy that they've been very popular and an outstanding player here in New England before he was hurt, Clayton Wysoon.
San Angelo State missed 3 years because of several knee operations. Let's watch the depth of the corners here. You can see Lepet on the top of the screen giving Duper almost 10 yards.
Kenneth Sims goes bang, head-on hit by the huge defensive end. 77 slowed the runner. It'll bring up 3rd down and long from the 33-yard line. A gain of only a yard. Lorenzo Hampton getting a lot of work, and he hasn't lost the ball yet.
Now here comes the 3rd down package. 4 receivers for Miami.
Loves that post pattern down here. Loves that post pattern. Somebody coming off the flank, running it down the field, then angling towards the goalpost for the over-the-middle throw. Scored the first touchdown on an in-close slant to Duper. Out pattern.
Oh,
big hit. Separates the ball. Ernest Gibson, an extra defensive back, separated the intended receiver Mark Duper from the football, and now 4th down arises for the Dolphins.
Don, you can see that the New England defense backed off, just an out, and Gibson really covers a lot of ground, closing to be there as the ball is delivered. That's several times today that a hand in or the defensive back just being right there as the ball got there resulted in an incompletion.
Dolphins, Trump, don't have to worry about rain next week. They play at Indianapolis under the dome. Patriots go to Giant Stadium to meet the Jets in a Monday night game. Here's a hit downfield by Strock, angle to the sideline, and he got it out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Chip shot, 30 yards and out of bounds inside the 5, so the Patriots get it, but in a hole in a moment. Often change on a turnover, and that Dolphin defense, Trump, now be looking for one as field positions everything in this weather.
Yeah, New England, too, is limited to about 10% of its offense inside its own 10-yard line, and Don Strock has got him backed up. For a guy who has never punted in an NFL regular season game, done a remarkable job.
Tatupu is the fullback. He'll get the ball. Mosey Tatupu gets the football and takes it off tackle and drives out to the 5-yard line. First down carry by Tatupu, native of Hawaii, former Southern California Trojan, and gives the New England offense a little bit more room to work, but not a whole lot.
Now, you got to earn your respect in the NFL, Don, and New England has run an awful lot at John Bosa, the rookie defensive end of the Miami Dolphins, who missed 41 days of camp. That particular run right at him. Former Boston College Eagle.
Second down and a long 6. Tatupu again, same play. He breaks it. First down and 2 hands on the ball, and this big back is not done till he's to the 24-yard line. An enormous play for New England. A 17-yard run by Tatupu.
Again, right behind Sean Farrell and Steve Moore, right at Bosa. And Mosey able to turn his shoulders and get through there. Short yardage again. Defensive backs making the tackle. 17-yard pickup. And now you've got 20% of your offense to run.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. 28-21. New England will be back after these messages. Got a tie game as far as time of possession is concerned.
What are the odds against that? The 4 turnovers have certainly helped the Dolphins, and now the Patriots in control of this football game, in my estimation, Don.
Few things in this world are as insignificant as time of possession. Handoff to Tatupu. They're going with a strong back who doesn't fumble it. 2 arms on the ball, and Mosey takes it out to the 26-yard line. Ryan Sauché was on the stop. Bosa making a lot of plays. The rookie from Boston College, the #1 draft choice.
Or trying to. There's no question that New England's choice is to run at John Bosa, the rookie. Steve Moore made a pretty good block there. If Mosey goes to the outside, he might still be running. I think they're going to keep firing it right at Bosa. As I said, you got to earn your respect in this game. It's not given.
Collins, he's been tough. They're going for the ball out of the Dolphins, but they don't get it as Collins on a 2nd down and 6 play gets ahead for a couple of yards out to the 30. Jackie Schiff made the stop. Scoreboard changing. Buffalo with a touchdown now moves to within 3 of the Jets. Next panel. There we are, sir.
Philadelphia 17.
Cincinnati back on top of Indianapolis on a field goal.
They've got some offense, don't they?
Yes, they do. New England's not, Indianapolis is not a bad team.
Oh, they're not.
Look at that score, Tampa Bay over Atlanta.
They won't build any statues to the coach here, but he did win here, and he's won at Indianapolis since he's been there. Ron Meyer.
New England now with 4 wides, Don.
Long ball. Picked off by Glenn Blackwood at the 40.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Why? He had a man open underneath. It was intended for Stephon Starring. There was good coverage by the Miami Dolphins. Blackwood right there. And Grogan still chooses to go on top. Look, there's no place to throw that. I mean, that's good coverage by 44 Langford. That's excellent coverage. And still, Grogan tries to fire it up there. Bad choices.
Coach Shula beginning his silver anniversary season as an NFL coach. He hasn't seen a lot of days like this outside of Miami. Non-stop rain, torrents of rain. It's a little lighter now than it was. Up the middle throw to Hardy, and he is stopped after a gain of 5 yards. Look at those guys hit. Nelson comes up. You catch it in the middle of the zone, and you pay.
Man, those guys are mean. They're ugly. They don't brush their teeth. Linebackers are a nasty lot. I swear they all come from the same island, somewhere in the South Pacific. I mean, they're just not human beings.
We were at practice here yesterday. I've never seen a better-looking group of athletes than the Patriots have. They've got better personnel than the Giants. Much better wide receivers, much better defensive backs. They don't win like the Giants, but they've got better personnel. Here's a throw down to the 49-yard line.
That's a pretty strong statement, Mr.
I
Tricky.
absolutely will say it. The New England Patriots, man for man, have better personnel than the world champion Giants.
I got to tell you, though,
not close.
20 years ago, you looked at this franchise, and they were always the team with the most talent, individual talent, and yet they couldn't really get much done. We got an injury. Ronnie Lee now comes off the sideline. Miami's got to be running out of bodies here eventually. Chris Conlon, a rookie out of Penn State, will take his spot. Ronnie Lee is a converted tight end. He was a first-round draft choice, wasn't he? With Indianapolis as a tight end. There's Conlon.
Only place they don't have a standout player, New England's at nose tackle. And Williams is getting better every year. They're young at that position. Tippett's going to be blitzing. Here he comes. Marino gets it away, and it's tipped down by Marion. Looking for Hampton out of the backfield.
Don, at the outset of the ball game, I was mentioning the fact that New England's done a great job against Dan Marino by disguising their coverage. And on that particular play, you saw Tippett start out underneath Lorenzo Hampton, then go into the line of scrimmage faking the blitz. You don't want to give Dan Marino a chance to pre-read your defense before the snap. If you do, he'll kill you. There's Marion once again, a tip ball away. That's about the 4th one that New England's managed to just get a hand in there to break up the pass.
Marino set to throw again on 2nd down and 10.
Screen.
Goes to Hampton. Big defensive play. Lorenzo Hampton breaks a couple of tackles and does very well to get ahead for 3 yards. He would have been knocked down for no gain.
Tippett was the first guy there.
The last meeting between these two teams was the last in 2 other ways. It not only was the last game of the '86 regular season, it was also the Dolphins' last game at the Orange Bowl. They're home for 21 years. And over those years, Miami won 74% of its games at the Orange Bowl.
Here's that screen blocking once again. Couldn't get enough people out there in front of Hampton, and Tippett almost makes a great play.
Joe Robbie Stadium is beautiful and new, but the Orange Bowl has soul. 3rd down throw up the field. It's incomplete at the 38-yard line, and so 4th down arises, and Strock comes out to punt again for Miami.
Now, Don, Dan Marino has that little tape on his right hand on his throwing finger, and his finger's fine. There you can see it. His finger's fine, but every time he puts his hand on that ball, that's got to get wet. And I wonder if it's had an effect on the way he's thrown the ball today, because he's not been particularly accurate, and he's thrown a couple of ducks out there.
His last punt, that of Don Strock, was a thing of beauty. The 30-yarder that went out of bounds at the 2. Irving Fryer with a very big problem now.
Look at this.
Let it roll. He got the same deal.
Oh.
2-yard line again. So out comes the offense. They're going to give it 3 straight times to Tutupu. 43-yard punt.
And remember, this guy has never punted in a regular season game.
Today's game is brought to you by your Subaru dealers. By Budweiser, Beechwood Aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Alcoa, Aluminum Company of America, world leader in aluminum technology.
Don, 3 of the last 4 possessions for the New England Patriots in this half have started at their own 2, their own 9, and now their own 3.
Tutupu gets the ball. The fullback. 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line. No, they're going to throw it. And they complete it out to the city. You talk about a gamble. Marker down. Might be against Miami. What a gamble. Throwing from his 2. It's an offensive foul. It comes back, so they'll start from the 1.
Well, there is no question that the game is now in the hands of the Miami defense. They've got to stop the New England Patriots.
Number 87, offense. First down.
Tight end Lynn Dawson called for it.
Yeah. Must have been running a little pick on the linebackers. Sometimes they get caught, sometimes they don't. But as I was saying, it comes down to the Miami defense. With 11:25 to go, they got to have New England here 3 downs and out and give it back to the offense.
So now, let's see if Tutupu gets it. The money back. The bull back. He's the lead blocker as it goes to Collins, who slices out and gets to the 6-yard line. Gain of about 5. 2nd down and 5 is nervous yardage time.
Glenn Blackwood on the tackle. Again, defensive backs making the tackle. It's going to go right at Glenn Blackwood, 47.
It's almost stopped raining.
You see Tutupu up in there. Lynn Dawson with a good block on Graff, 58. You know, they only lost 2 yards on that penalty, half the distance to the goal.
Only lost 1. They were on the 2. Boy, look at those Dolphins come a-popping, striking at the ball. So Shea and Ship head-on hits on Tutupu. That brings up a tough down now for the Patriots. A very big one for the Miami defense. 3rd down and about 5.
His defense much maligned. You see Jackie Ship and Soche right there to at least change the direction of Tutupu. And the nickel package comes in now for Miami. This is the down. 3rd down and what do you say, 4? 3rd down and 5?
3rd down and just about 5. 10 minutes to play in the game. The clock running. New England leads Miami 28-21. Dolphins led at 1 point, 21-7. Patriots have scored the last 21 points in the game. Throw and a catch. It's a 1st down. A gamble by Grogan. Say they love the gambler till he loses. He wins there with a throw to Tony Collins for a 1st down. 9:35 to play.
That was a huge play. It looked like the late arrival to the New England Patriots huddle kind of confused the Miami defense, and Collins snuck out of the backfield there to make a big reception. Keep the drive alive.
Patriots looking to run the clock with a 7-point lead. 9:10 to go. Tutupu. Out to the 22-yard line. Sean Farrell pulled out and led the blocking. Farrell, number 62. A super powerful player, can bench press over twice his body weight. He weighs 260. He can bench press 540 pounds.
And Rick Rapp, the rookie out of Wisconsin, a linebacker, made a great play.
It's inhuman to bench press 540 pounds. I'd have to see it, but they say he can do it. It's like guys supposed to run 4.3s. There isn't anybody can run 4.3.
Not even Ben Johnson of Canada in football gear.
Bo Jackson told me he's run under 4.2.
Yeah, right.
He's going to need that in his new hobby. Here's a throw downfield. It's too much on it. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Fryer turning out at the ball. Stops the clock with the incomplete throw. 8:21 to play. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited. Joe Brown, the executive director of the NFL, and longtime official Fritz Graff are down manning the replay machine, but they've not been called on today.
Not at all. New England now with 4 wide receivers. Miami with 6 defensive backs. Grogan from the shotgun. The one thing Miami's not gotten today is pressure on the quarterback, Don.
I don't think we've had a sack, have we? Throwing a catch. Good for a first down. They get the ball out to the 29-yard line. Stanley Morgan coming off the flank. Got a step on the defender, Paul Langford, and the ball was right there from Grogan.
Well thrown by Steve Grogan. This will happen. He should come from the right. There you see. That's all the distance they need. And that foot speed of Stanley Morgan and the lack of foot speed by Paul Langford in that particular matchup produces a third down conversion for New England. Drive stays alive.
28-21, New England with the ball and the lead. 7:35 to play. Collins, lead blockers to Tupu, who put somebody on his back, and then the carry is out to the 33.
Oh, Irving Fryer had a tremendous crackback block.
They're ready to go to war out at Mile High Stadium, where the Seahawks and the Broncos hook up as part of the NBC doubleheader day. Another 4 o'clock game Eastern time. The Raiders go against the Packers at Green Bay. Big opening day on NBC Sports.
Now, this has been a tremendous drive by the New England Patriots. Started at their own 3. They've eaten about 6 minutes off the clock, 5 minutes off the clock now, and they continue to keep the drive alive.
Rain is now down to a drizzle. Good play. Collins slanting off, then good defensive play on 2nd down and 6. Dolphins fill, and coming up to make the stop is Glenn Blackwood. Well, the Blackwoods have been doing it a long time.
Lyle now retired, lives down in Florida, but the brothers Blackwood strong and free safety. 4 wides now for New England. This is the one thing that New England has been able to do today. Make these third down conversions. 5 minutes of time of possession. Started at their own 3.
Game clock down to 6:10 to play. 4th quarter, 28-21 New England. 3rd down and 4. Grogan gets some time, throws on the run. Look at that hit. Patriots have to punt the ball as Blackwood combined on the hit with Donovan Rose.
Donovan Rose did an excellent job in coverage. It looked like Morgan was going to run another delay inside. And when that ball gets there, so does his shoulder pad. Right at the chin of Stanley Morgan is Steve Grogan doing push-ups. Camarillo into punt.
Marino in the Miami offense. Set to get the ball now as New England's punting for the first time this half. Big rush, end-over-end kick. Be tough to handle. But it is by Schwades, weaving his way, looking for an alley, and he gets knocked down at the 34-yard line. And there, Dan Marino and the Dolphin offense comes out 1st down and 10. A 42-yard punt by Camarillo, a 10-yard return. Dolphins down by 7, ready to go on offense. Game, and Marino and the Dolphins, Trump needs 7 to possibly go to overtime, and Marino can pass you from here to Logan Airport in 5:48.
Well, you're absolutely right. Last year's best passing offense in the NFL now tested. They got about 80 yards to go here in a game-tying situation to send it to overtime. Marino, it's strange, in facing an awful lot of rain, it's really kind of slacked off right now. So we'll see if Miami's idea of offense changes a little bit here.
Marino throws, and it is picked off by Fred Marion.
No, he dropped it.
They really got it on the 1 hop.
They didn't didn't look like there was anybody even close to that one. From behind the defense, once again, Marino going to the outlet receiver. Where's the receiver? Oh, he's throwing it for Clayton, 83. That was a real hope shot. Marino normally very, very good at picking out the right receiver. And I think the New England Patriots gave him a false read on that defense. He threw it right into coverage.
As we pointed out earlier, as Rod Russ, the defensive coordinator, said, Trump, you absolutely have to take away his primary receiver. Loose ball, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Dolphins at their 33-yard line.
Bruce Hardy, the intended receiver, and Marino looked at him too long, and that gave Blackman a chance to close. Marino saying, that's my fault. That's my fault. Marino's numbers not very good. 15 of 32, 139.
3 in the end zone isn't bad, though.
Yeah, well, not good enough. See, he's saying I should have gone down here. Wrong coverage. There were 3 guys around Bruce Hardy. Now 3rd down and 10. The Dolphins released Nat Moore and also Tony Nathan. Last year they were best in the league at converting these.
Heats on the Dolphins now. 3rd down and 10. They're down by 7 with 5:37 to play. Ball at the Miami 33-yard line. Patriots showing blitz, and here it comes. Dolphins pick it up. Throw and a drop by Clayton. Dolphins have to punt. Lepet coming up hard. The hoofbeats heard by Clayton.
This again is a delay inside. Clayton's looking at the coverage. Yeah, it can get noisy in there. There is no question about that. The closer you get to the middle, the louder it gets.
Ronnie Lepet, as we put it out, played for the University of Miami Hurricanes, has been in the end zone with an interception return for a touchdown. Dolphins jumped out to an early lead, 21-7. New England scored the last 21 points and now leads by 7. High punt. Fred Marion signals a fair catch and makes it at the 40-yard line. The Patriots come out to run the ball if they can and run the clock. And we'll be back with 5:27 to play after this. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots, all rights reserved. At the moment, it is more the property of the New England Patriots as they lead 28-21 with 5 minutes and 27 seconds left to play. Tupu comes back, lead blocker for Collins. Not much there as he's out to the 42-yard line. Got only a yard. Good D by the Dolphins, led by nose tackle Brian Sauché, number 70. Johnny Hector has just scored for the Jets, and they've gone in front of Buffalo by 10 in the 4th quarter. Washington holding to a 7-point lead over the Eagles. New Orleans and Cleveland in a tight one at the Superdome with the Saints up by 2. Dallas has come from behind and now leads St. Louis 13-3. On 2nd and 8, pitch back goes to Collins. Turns the corner, and Collins is down across to the 50-yard line and very close to a 1st down.
And you know, this comeback and lead by the New England Patriots is a testament to the athletic ability of this football team. Mentally, in the first half, they were very, very poor, making very bad mistakes. And just the sheer athletic ability of this football team brings them back into the football game. I mean, they've turned the ball over 5 times, and they're still winning the game. That's pretty impressive.
While Shula's in his 25th year, his former teammate with the Baltimore Colts years ago, a Hall of Famer, Raymond Berry, is in his 3rd season as head coach of New England, and already he's had 2 playoff teams and a Super Bowl team.
Sauché, big tackle.
3rd and short. Patriots didn't get there.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Don, coming into this ball game, very little respect paid to the Miami defense, but the up-front defense has been extraordinary, in my estimation. They played very well, and that young kid has done an outstanding job. Sauché has certainly held his own against 2 centers, got 1 out of the game. So with the score 28-21, there are still some positives for the Dolphins to build on.
But they need big positives off the right arm of Dan Marino as they'll get the ball back now. Camarillo ready to punt the ball for New England, and the rookie, Scott Schwades, is back for Miami at his 10. End over end punt. Schwades misjudges it. It'll take a Patriot roll down all the way to the 11-yard line. So Marino and the Dolphins must go the long field against the Patriot defense. A 40-yard punt with no return. 3:46 to play, and it remains. New England 28, Miami 21. Immediately following on most of these NBC stations, a doubleheader day with the Seahawks, the only team that beat the Super Bowl teams, the Giants and the Broncos last season, coming off a hot preseason, going into Mile High Stadium in Denver. The Raiders go into the most famous address maybe in football. Lambeau Field, Lombardi Drive, Green Bay, Wisconsin, but the glory years are long gone in Green Bay, and the Raiders they'd try to win by 50. Still remember the humiliation put on the Raiders by that Green Bay team in Super Bowl two.
That was Green Bay, Kansas City in the first one. Mark Duper on the catch. Marino now in the second half, 8 of 19.
Game clock running, 3:20 to play. Marino, quick timing throw. It's ahead for a gain of about 10 yards out to the 33-yard line.
Duper's been the big man all day today in front of Claiborne, going with no huddle.
Boy, it's just something to watch a guy like Marino work the 2-minute offense.
Oh, could he do this?
Screams out the play. Snap count is pre-called. Hooked one, and it's in his hands. And here's the swing pass out to Davenport, outlet receiver. Didn't get out of bounds, though, as Lepet upended him.
That's a pass that only works if you can get it out there to the running back in stride. That time Davenport had to spin around, and it killed his momentum, but they go right back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, another play.
Second down and 10 coming up from the 34-yard line. That's the game clock winding down to 2:30. Marino gets it away.
Oh, catch.
Tip ball, and it's a catch by Davenport. 2 years ago, that would have Marino's down. We'll watch again and see what happened to Dan Marino.
Everything's moving, so he got hit right in the face. Well, you see the people rush on the field when Dan Marino goes down. They're out there in a flash. Time the doctors in a 40-yard dash when they go to attend to Dan Marino. Tip it.
See what happens to him.
Oh, he got kicked right in the nose. That's what happened. Garen Barris's foot came up and caught Danny right on the bridge of the nose. He got it kicked right in the eye or the nose. Now, because they took a timeout, now watch what happens. Garen Barris's left foot comes up. Tippett. Foot hits him right in the nose. Marino's got to come out for one play because they took time out for him, and I bet he goes right back in. On the bridge of the nose or in the eye or whatever it was.
Ron Jaworski, a new Eagle quarterback, a former Eagle quarterback, and a new Dolphin quarterback, checks him out. He'll feel like a fighter, though, Trump, when he goes back in. Will he be able to see out of it with the swelling?
Don Strock at quarterback on a 3rd down and 6. And it looked like offsides New England.
Game clock down to 1:59 to play.
Tippett fired offsides. That's the second time now. Is this against...
Encroachment! Defense!
Unbelievable. They did that on a punt that extended a drive, and now as opposed to 3rd down and 6, it's going to be 3rd down and 1. I mean, you certainly want aggressive play out of your people, but at this point, with a backup quarterback in the ball game, Marino now comes back in the ball game. There's nothing really gained by trying to anticipate the snap count.
We'll come back to Foxborough for the stretch run after this.
It's a pretty obvious offsides by Andre Tippett. No denying that one. Flag on New England. Now it's 3rd and 1. Gives Miami 2 shots at this conversion, not 1 now.
Tippett gets a clean shot, and you're down to Jaworski. Or Jensen.
Strock still in the ball game.
Defense way up tight. Handoff goes to Davenport. He's knocked down for a loss. It's going to be 4th down and about 4, and with 1:52 and the clock running, the Dolphins have to go for it.
Excellent job by the Patriots defensive line. Garen Barris inside the block. And here's the report card on the...
Enough of the report card. This play could be the game for Miami if they don't convert.
New England takes a timeout here. They just did Miami a favor.
1:43 to go. To the sideline for counsel comes Don Strock. Sidelined after being inadvertently kicked in the face as he was falling by a New England lineman. Don Strock in on the most important play of this game to date for Miami. They're down by 7, 28-21. It's 4th down and 3 for the Dolphins. Out of the shotgun is Strock. He looks, unloads. It's caught, but is it a first down? The mark is everything now.
Jensen makes the catch. I think they got enough for a first down.
They do. They get the mark, and they get 4 new downs as the clock is down to 1:25 and running. New England 28, Miami 21 on opening day in Foxborough. The rain is very light now. Strock gets time. Here's a throw. Jensen again. He's knocked down at the 47-yard line, and he's inbounds. The clock runs down to 1:05.
That was a very poor snap by Dwight Stevenson. Strock almost had to bend down on his knees to get that.
Stevenson has played, as always, a great game, though, under very adverse conditions.
Yep.
Playing with a very painful arch sprain. Most people wouldn't be in there. Up the middle, open man. Duper's in the open field, and he's down to the 43-yard line. It's a first down, and the Dolphins call a timeout with 36 seconds to play. No, they don't. Still running. They were signaling timeout. Nothing was called, and
they've got 3 timeouts now. There's no reason to be heroes here.
They'll be looking at an out pattern to stop the clock. Strock looks. Here comes the rush. Over the middle. The ball is caught. In the open field is Duper. And he's down to the 16-yard line. And the clock runs 13, 12. And finally, the Dolphins stop the clock as we're going to go right down to the final gun of this game.
With Don Strock at quarterback, a crossing pattern by Duper ends up being a 26-yard pickup. Ernest Gibson finally on the tackle. Don Strock has been extraordinary.
So is this game. First, Strock had to come in to replace the injured Reggie Roby and punt the ball. He did that very well. Then when Dan Marino went out a few plays ago, Strock came in on the all-important drive that the Dolphins had to keep alive. He took them down the field with his passing, and finally, that hit to Duper takes the ball down to the 21-yard line of New England. Strock is 4 for 4 for 43 yards since he came in for this drive.
And on 2 of those completions to the 4th-string quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, Jim Jensen.
You got to shoot for the end zone. The clock could run out. 12 seconds to play. Raymond Berry looking on impassively. But you know he's on fire inside, as is everybody in Sullivan Stadium.
Patriots got to watch for pass interference here in the end zone. That goes to the 1-yard line.
What an ending. Snap to Strock. Blocking's good. Strock throws. Jensen has it. He's down to the 3-yard line. 6 seconds left to play. And the clock is stopped with 5 seconds to play.
5 completions by Don Strock, 3 to Jim Jensen. 1 to convert a 4th down to a first down. And you see what that penalty to Andre Tippett did? It extended that drive. It took it from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1. Made it 4th and 1. They converted it and kept the game going. Still keeps Miami in the game, gives them a chance.
Jensen, a 3rd receiver, really, a tertiary receiver. He's not a primary or a secondary.
I understand what you're saying.
National Football League rules require that we present away games starting with the opening kickoffs to the stations in the team's home area. So viewers in Seattle will be leaving this game in a few minutes for a telecast involving the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. However, we'll continue to bring you reports on this game to keep you up to date.
There's the play. That's the one that extended the drive. The offsides, the encroachment as it's called by Andre Tippett. And it was like artificial resuscitation to the Miami Dolphins.
Rod Russ, defensive coordinator of the Patriots, phoning down the defensive call. Strock gets set.
Watch Jensen here.
Three-man rush. They might keep 7 back. Take back the pass rush. Here's a marker down.
I think they used too much time, Don.
So instead of goal from the 4, it'll be goal from the 9.
Delay a game.
That's it, Trump.
You know, I'm not so sure. That's not on purpose. You got 19 yards now to work with. Tom Dooley says 5 seconds on the clock. They're going to add a tick. But I'm not so sure that a team that needs one play and it's got to be a pass.
Please put 5 seconds on the clock.
Is better served with 19 yards than 14 yards. It gives you just a little more room for those receivers to work. And basically, New England, I think, is going to take a timeout here to think about this. Basically, it's got to be, this is the game. You're not going to take the snap and get more than one play off here unless you go into the end zone. Now, the play can't end on the game can't end on a penalty on the defense. And you got to get one hope shot into the end zone and hope for a penalty or a catch, one of the two. I never thought this game would be this close. Never.
What an opener. And the Dolphins fighting to take a lead over the favored Patriots. At one point, they led 21-7, and then they came back, did the Patriots, scoring 21 unanswered points to make it 28-21. That's how it stands now. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy on opening day at Foxborough as the Patriots send out defensive people. An extra DB comes into the game.
Got to be man-to-man coverage here by New England all over Clayton and Duper. They're very quick.
5 seconds to play. He'll probably release it quickly to try to get another play if possible. Bad snap. Stroff takes a look into the end zone. Incomplete. Down to 1 second. Now the clock runs out. The Dolphins are protesting the second should be put on. The clock is out, but believe me, this isn't over.
The official time is kept on the field. The official time is kept on the field. The gun just fired.
The official concurs and said that the 5 seconds elapsed. And so a stirring effort by the Dolphins falls short at the end, and the New England Patriots come away with a 28-21 opening day win.
The clock in the lower corner, but the official time is kept by the officials on the field. That's an incomplete pass with 2 ticks on the clock left, but I repeat, the stadium clock, even though they attempt to make it official, is not always official, and it ends up a 28-21 win by the New England Patriots.
007 walking out with Raymond Berry, the head of security for the Patriots, Lou Assad. What an opening day in the worst possible weather. Some spectacular plays all afternoon long. Turnovers were a major factor, and then when it was all on the line and the ace of the Dolphins went to the sideline with an injury, Don Strock came in and drove Miami down to a final play which came up empty. And so the Patriots, scoring the last 21 points of this game, rally from 14 behind and beat the Dolphins on opening day 28-21. We'll be back to Foxborough after this. MVP is Ronnie Lepet from the New England Patriots, and Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's games. For Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui. Glad you could be with us at Foxborough, Mass, where today it was a big ending, and finally New England held on to win it 28-21. Stay tuned for the second half of our NFL doubleheader with the Seattle Seahawks at Denver. Some of you will see the Raiders at Green Bay next on NBC.